What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2022 Pennzoil 400. Let's go and just jump straight into those really quickly. This weekend's NASCAR is heading out to Las Vegas. It'll be the first mile-and-a-half test for the next-gen car. These cars are going to be much closer together. They're going to be side by side, so we expect this potentially be an attrition-based race this weekend with a lot of chaos, very similar to last week's race at Auto Club. This race may be very chaotic, and a lot of cars might end up falling out of the race like we thought Auto Club would be like. This race be very chaotic this weekend at Auto Club Speedway. But before we go ahead and jump into the picks, let's also take a look at the weather for this weekend. The weather is actually going to be kind of nice for the Las Vegas area. It's going to be 62 degrees as high with 42 degrees as a low with a 0% chance of rain with mostly cloudy skies, and the wind at the green flag is expected to be about 6 miles an hour, which could play a big factor in these cars. If you watch Auto Club, and especially on Saturday, there were a lot of cars going around during the wind, so that could play a major factor into the role. So, let's now jump into picks. For those of you who are new to the channel, how this picks work, I do these picks similar to the NASCAR Weekly podcast. I do a suck pick, a driver that runs up front who's been struggling, who's going to continue to struggle. An underdog pick, a driver that always runs up, doesn't always run up front, who I think is going to run well, or a driver who's been on a consistent streak that's not as good of a car, who will run well. And then I pick the winner of the race as well. And then I do the ones to watch for this weekend. And I've got 6 drivers you need to keep your eye out for this weekend here at Las Vegas. So now, let's jump into the picks. Who is my suck pick for this weekend here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway? This driver has absolutely had a terrible start to this year. Has had a lot of bad luck. At the Busch Light Clash, he had a really fast car, one of the fastest cars in this race. You could have put a run-up for Joey Logano in the race, but unfortunately got taken out late with around 25 to 30 laps to go in the race. In the Daytona 500, they were one of the early favorites going into that, and they had major tire problems. And then last week at Auto Club, on the last lap, they hit the outside wall really hard. On top of that, this guy's average finish is a 30.5. I know this win Inspired Motorsports. This guy's absolutely struggled. My suck pick is going to be Justin Haley. It just seems like anytime Justin Haley has a good run going or something's going well, because it seems like he's been up front a lot of races, something goes seriously wrong. And I'm not sure if College Racing this weekend is going to have speed, whether it's in their 16 or 31 car. I'm not really sure if they're going to have the pace or the speed. I think Justin Haley's a really good driver, don't get me wrong, but Justin Haley's had a lot of bad luck go for him to start off the season. I'm really not expecting the luck to really change for him this weekend, unlike another driver we'll talk about. But I think Justin Haley is going to struggle this weekend. I don't think he's going to have a good run this weekend here at Las Vegas. And now let's jump into the underdog picks. Who are my underdog picks for this weekend here at Las Vegas? Well, I've got 2 underdog picks and 2 drivers you need to watch out for this weekend. The first driver I'm picking won this race in the fall of 2020 and has generally ran up front throughout the years at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. My first pick is going to be Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch had an up and down year to start. He's had a lot of bad luck start this year, but he's also had not a lot of speed. But like I said, Kurt Busch has been really fast here, and I think Kurt's going to have a lot of pace. On top of that, Kurt Busch finished 8th last race at Auto Club, and I think that momentum from Auto Club is going to carry in not just for his teammate Bubba Wallace, but I think a lot of that momentum is going to carry into this weekend for Kurt Busch. I don't think Kurt Busch is going to win this weekend, but I think Kurt Busch has a really strong potential of getting a top 10 this weekend. The other driver that as my underdog pick is going to be a driver of the 43 for Petty GMS Motorsports, Eric Jones. Eric Jones is having a really strong start to the year. He is currently 6th in the points. He has scored the 2nd most stage points so far in the season. The only one I think that's I don't remember who's the guy who's beat him so far, but he has scored the 2nd most stage points so far this season. I think Joey Logano might beat him, I'm not entirely sure, but he's been really up good when it comes to stage points. On top of that, he had a really impressive run at Auto Club Speedway where he finished 3rd and was up front in the whole entire race. Never fell outside of the top 15. He was the only driver in the race that did not fall outside of the top 15. He never really ever fell outside the top 10. And I think Petty GMS Motorsports is going to bring a lot of speed. On top of that, Eric Jones finished in the top 10 in the spring race the last time we were here. And I think that the Petty GMS Motorsports team is a lot more quicker this year when it was just Richard Petty Motorsports. I think Eric Jones is going to have a good run. I think Eric Jones is going to get another top 10. And I think he's going to continue his really strong start to the 2022 season. And now let's jump into the winner pick for this weekend here at Las Vegas. Who is going to be my winner's pick? Now, I want to think about who's going to win. I've been thinking about who is really good at this track. And I think the guy who's been really good here, he should have won this race last fall, and he was the car that won the spring race in 2021. On top of that, he's coming off of winning last week at Auto Club Speedway. I know a lot of people want to see a different winner this weekend, but I do not expect it to happen. I think that Kyle Larson is going to go back-to-back this weekend. Kyle Larson is one of the best drivers currently in the NASCAR Cup Series right now, if not the best driver currently in the NASCAR Cup Series. And I think that experience, especially that dirt-type racing experience, and how good he's been on these kind of tracks, I think Kyle Larson is going to pick up his 18th career victory, and I think he's going to be the first driver to score 2 victories. I think if you're going to want to win this championship, you're going to have to beat this 5-car series. I think Kyle Larson has as good of a shot as anybody to go back-to-back in the championship, and I think that Kyle Larson is going to go back-to-back this weekend here at Las Vegas. So now let's jump into the ones you need to watch out for this weekend at Las Vegas. Who are the ones you need to keep your eye on? The first driver you need to keep your eyes on is the driver of the 22 car 14 Penske. Joey Logano is another driver that's been extremely fast to start this year. He's currently second in the points, only 1 point currently behind Austin Cindric right now. And Joey Logano does have 2 wins here in 2019 in the spring and 2020 in the spring. And a Team Penske car seemed to show up really, really good when it comes to racing here. I think that Joey Logano is going to have a lot of speed this weekend, and I think he'll be absolutely a major, major threat to contend for the victory. I think he will lose for sure, get a top 5, but I think Joey Logano, especially after winning the Busch Light Clash, I think he's going to have a good run here at Las Vegas. The second driver you need to keep your eyes on is the driver of the 18 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch does have one win here in 2009, and I know that Kyle Busch has had an up and down start to the year. I know he's been involved in multiple wrecks, but both times he's been in wrecks, he has been able to bounce back. He finished 6th in Daytona 500, and even though he was 5 or 6 laps down at one point, he was able to get up to 14th position. And I think him being able to bounce back from major issues plays a major role. And he's been historically really, really great here at Las Vegas. I think that speed is going to come into play, and I think he'll be a threat to win this weekend here at Las Vegas. The third driver you need to keep your eyes on is the driver of the A car for Richard Racing, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's had everything go wrong for him. He has had the fastest car 2 of the first 3 races. He had the fastest car in the Busch Light Clash, was really fast in the 500, and was really fast last week at Auto Club. But unfortunately, what happened to Tyler Reddick is what happened was both times he's had the best car, he's had major problems. In the Busch Light Clash, he had a transaxle break. In the Daytona 500, he had a wheel issue, and basically the car broke apart. And then in last week, he had a tire go down and got involved in a wreck with William Byron. I don't think he's going to have any bad luck. I think he's going to bounce back, and I think he's going to contend for victory this weekend here at Las Vegas. The fourth driver you need to keep your eyes on is the driver of the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin won the last time we were here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I know that Denny Hamlin's not really had a great start to the year. He finished, I think, near the back of the field in the 500, and he finished 15th at Auto Club. But I think that Denny Hamlin's going to bounce back this week, and I think Joe Gibbs Racing's not going to have the overheating problems that they've had, because that's one of the big issues that Joe Gibbs Racing 2311 had, was the major overheating problems. I don't think they're going to have those problems, and I think Denny Hamlin will have a good run this weekend. The fifth driver you need to keep your eyes on is a driver of the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, the last time we were here at Las Vegas, finished second, was actually catching Denny Hamlin late, was not able to catch him. On top of that, Chase Elliott has been very, very fast the last couple of years here, and he's been really, really strong. I know in the spring race in 2021, he had some major issues, but I don't think he's going to have those major issues once again. On top of that, Chase Elliott is going to be looking to have some major redemption after his contact with Kyle Larson in the past race at Auto Club. I think he's going to have a good run. I think he gets top 5, and I think he'll contend for victory this weekend at Las Vegas. And the final driver you need to keep your eyes on is the driver of the 12 car, 14 Penske, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's been historically really, really good at this track. I know he's only led 30 laps, but he's finished really well in these races at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On top of that, Ryan Blaney, I think, is a driver that's going to do well. And like I said, with Joey Logano, Team Penske tends to bring a lot of really, really fast cars here. So I think Ryan Blaney's going to have a lot of speed, and I think he will absolutely be a contender, and I think he'll definitely be one to watch this weekend here at Las Vegas. I think he's got a good shot to get it done, and keep your eyes on him, Ryan Blaney. I think he's got a good shot to potentially get his first win of the 2022 season. So, anyway, those are my picks for this weekend here at Las Vegas. Just so a reminder, my suck pick is Justin Haley. My underdog is Kurt Busch and Eric Jones. My winner's pick is Kyle Larson. And the ones to watch are Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney. So, anyway, those are my Rick's picks for the Pennzoil 400. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications, be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links are below for that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. Who are your race picks for this weekend here? Tell me your suck pick, tell me your underdog pick, and tell me your winner's pick for this weekend, and tell me the ones you're keeping an eye out for this weekend at Las Vegas. Let me know in the comments below. Also, note that Danica Patrick also is going to be in the booth for this weekend as well. I forgot to mention that. Got some other products that are on the way really, really soon. We're going to probably have those out later in the year, but I've got some really cool stuff that's on the way that you guys should check out really, really soon. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.